అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. నమో నమః. సర్వేభ్యో నమస్కారః. Today is the third day of our classes on Darshanas. So far we had two sessions, one covering Sankhya and Yoga, another one covering Nyaya and Vaiseshika, and today Mimamsa and Vedanta Darshana we will cover, I think partly if required, Vaiseshika also. We will start the session with Vande Mataram, paying respects to our country, and then chant Prarthana before we request the speaker to take the platform. Let us request Chala Chittibabu Garu to chant, to recite Vande Mataram, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam Sufalam, Malaya Sitalam, Sasya Syamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Subrajyosna Pulakitayaminim, Pullakusumita Drumadala Shobhinim, Suhasinim, Sumadhura Bhashinim, Sukhadam Varadam Mataram, Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram.
వందే మాతరం. ధన్యవాదములండి చల్లా చిట్టిబాబు గారు. Now let us request Bhaskar Rao garu to chant Prarthana, please.
Munduga 1 minute meditation followed by 3 times Om. Let us go for the prayer, the meditation. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigam Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anasranvannotibhih Seda Sadhanam. Om Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati. Om Nadinamavitrevatu. Om Shri Mahasaraswati Namaha. Gurureva Gati Gurumeva Bhaje Gurunaiva Sahasmi. Namo Gurave Naguroh Paramam Sisurasmi Guru Matirasti Guru Mampahi Guru Jnananandamayam Devam निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
ధన్యవాదములండి భాస్కర్ రావు గారు.
नमस्ते
Thank you so much. Excellent chanting. Good. Now let us request our Guruji, CSR Prabhu Garu, to start the webinar, please.
Om 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 Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampadaya Kartrubhyo Vamsarshibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvopaplavarahita Prajnanaghana Pratyagatho Sohamasmi Brahmaivahamasmi. Well, friends, we have covered Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaiseshika. We will try to cover some parts of Vaiseshika and Mimamsa and Vedanta today as the last day of 3 days series on Darshanas. So last time in Vaiseshika, I have covered the introduction on the physics perspective of Vaiseshika based on my book, The Physics of Vaiseshika. Today I will continue that in the internal aspects. Then I will switch over to Mimamsa and finally Vedanta. Very little on Mimamsa, but more on Vedanta. So the first sutra of Vaiseshika Darshana or Vaiseshika Sutras of Kannada, around 3000 BC he lived in Brahmavarta area near Rajasthan, Haryana area. First sutra is Adhato Dharma Vyakhyasyaamaha. Now we shall comment upon Dharma. Yato Abhyudaya Nishreyasa Siddhi sa Dharma. Dharma is that through which you can get the result or success of Abhyudaya and Nishreyasa both. Abhyudaya means you know very well, it is welfare, it is progress. You can say material progress. Nishreyasa means moksha, that is liberation, to be free from the cycle of birth and rebirth, birth, death and rebirth, and so on. And also while being alive to be liberated. So why he said both? Dharma comprises, according to him, Abhyudaya and Nishreyasa. Both. Not only Abhyudaya. Today the modern times, they only think of economy and consumption. Kama is consumption, Ardha is economy. Dharma is the righteousness, rule of law, universal law. And moksha will come only out of Dharma and Ardha and Kama based upon Dharma. Today we have Ardha and Kama quite independent of Dharma. And if they are based on Adharma, they will lead to destruction. That's what is happening today in certain parts of the globe. And Kali Yuga, we have 75% Adharma and only 25% Dharma. And within that 25%, a few people are there who are following dharma meticulously. Some people follow sometimes. All people don't follow all times. All people don't follow dharma sometimes. And some people don't follow dharma all times, but only some people follow dharma sometimes. That is the characteristic of Kali Yuga. And at least some people are following dharma, that's why the life is going on. If that is also gone, there will be complete chaos and destruction and dissolution. That is the end of Kali Yuga. So at that time, Kalki Avatar is supposed to come to rescue the humanity from total annihilation due to adharma. So dharma is of two types. Adi Shankaracharya declared in the first sentence of his commentary to Bhagavad Gita, Dharmo dvividhaha pravritti lakshano dharmaha nivritti lakshano Narayanaha Arjunaya proktavan. So taking Arjuna as a pretext, Narayana, born as Krishna Avatara, has proclaimed, declared, and pronounced dharma of two types, the pravritti lakshana and nivritti lakshana. The nivritti lakshana dharma is towards nishrayasa. Pravritti lakshana dharma is towards abhyudaya. But dharma is common for both. And dharma is defined by Manu as dhruti kshamadama shauchamasteyo indriya nigraha. Dhir vidya satyam akrodho dasakam dharma lakshana. And also Yamaniyamas are there, Satya, Himsa, Brahmacharya, Asteya, Pragrha, Shauch, Santosha, Swadhyaya. And Daivi Sampat is there, Abhayam, Sattva Samshuddhi, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, Dhanam, Damascha, Yajnascha, Swadhyaya, Stapa, Arjavam, Ahimsa, Satyam, Akrodha, Tyaga, Kshanti, Rapaishnam, Daya, Bhuteshwa, Lolupam, Mardavam, Hri, Rachapanam, Teja, Kshama, Dhriti, Shaucham, Adroho, Naviman. So these are Daivi Sampat. Daivi Sampat, Dharma Lakshanas and Yamaniyamas are all having common basis. Many of their characteristics are common. And we have identified 18 of those characteristics out of 26 of Daivi Sampat and found in our research that those characteristics of Dharma are upheld and ordained, not only in various Hindu scriptures like Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Sutras, Manusmriti, and even in the Rig Veda or in the Upanishads, but also in the scriptures of other religions, which are derived obviously in time out of Hindu scriptures, even in Buddha Sutras, Jaina Sutras, and even in Bible and even in Quran. These same values or ethical values or ethics are upheld, though they are ignored, they are not emphasized. All violent matters are emphasized, conversion is emphasized, but actually it is wrong emphasis. Conversion is illegal. In fact, that conversion is based upon the colonization idea, which is not supported even inside their own scriptures. They interpret in such a way that they will justify invasions and conversions and colonizations. So the common factor across all religions, scriptures, not the people. People are practicing randomly whatever they like. But in the scriptures, dharma does exist. Dharma is proclaimed. Dharma is ordained. And so also yoga is a common factor. Yoga in the sense of meditation, devotion, concentration is a common factor across both theistic and atheistic. So Dharma Yoga is a common framework for all religions and science, both theistic and atheistic religions and science, which is of course atheist. So now in the Vaiseshika Darshana, there is no direct mention of Ishvara or God, but the Veda is upheld. Tadvachanad Amnayasya Pramanya. That is the third sutra. So Amnaya means Veda. gets its pramanyata, that means its referential Shabda Pramana status by being the Dharma Vachana. Tad Vachanat Amna Yasya Pramanyam. So when he said Tad Vachanat, Dharmasya Vachanat in terms of the previous sutra as a continuity. But some commentators have taken Tat as the indication of Ishvara. And even if you take or don't take, the Veda itself is very theistic. Veda upholds the existence of Ishvara, Purusha, Brahman, Bhagavan, and so on. The Gayatri Mantra is an explicit declaration of the devoted meditation on the Supreme Being. Tad Varenyam Bhargo, Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhiyo Yo Prachodayate. Therefore, the Vaiseshika Sutras, as also the Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Mimamsa, and Veda, are theistic. They accept and uphold the Vedic position of the existence of God or Ishvara as a reality. Now, what is the result of Vaiseshika Darshana resulting in moksha, Nishresa, Dharma Visesha, Prasutat? So he is saying, born out of the special qualities of Dharma, Samanya Vishesha Samavayanam Padarthanam Sadhamya Vaidharmyabhyam Tattva Jnana Nishresa. Dravya Guna Karma Samanya Vishesha. So as we saw in the Nyaya Darshana, Nyaya Padarthas, Pramana, Prameya, Samshaya, and so on. Here, the Vaiseshika Padarthas are 6. Dravya, Guna, Karma. Karma means motions of all kinds. Dravyas are substances. Gunas are their properties. And abstractions such as Samanya, generalization, Vishesha, specialization, and Samavaya, inherence. So these 6 are the Padarthas. By Tattvajnana of these 6, Dravya, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha, Samayanam, Padarthan, Sadharmya, Vaidharmyabhyam, Tattvajnana. The similarities and dissimilarities of all this, which means physics basically, you can achieve Nishresa, moksha. So even Einstein or Newton never said you can get moksha through physics, but Kanada is saying that. So the Tattvajnana of Dravya Guna Karma Samanya Vishesha Samvayam Padarthanam Sadharmya Vaidharmyabhyam Tattvajnana. Similarities and dissimilarities, that means the properties and the functions and the roles. The structure, functions, roles of different items in these 6 Dravya Guna Karma, substance, property, motion, generalizations, Samanya Vishesha Samavaya, generalization, specialization, and inherence. So Prithvi, Apastejo, Vayu, Rakasha, Dik, Kal, Mana, Atma, iti Dravyani. What are the Dravyas? Prithvi, Apa, Teja, Vayu, Akasha, Dik, and Kala. So Akasha and Dik both are defined. Akasha is equivalent to either ether. And Dik is directional or Cartesian space. And Kala is also. This is classical physics model. And the advancement beyond classical physics model is the acceptance of the observer. That is mind and Atma. Mana Atma iti Dravyani. Both mind and Atma are accepted as substances, as much substances as Prithvi, Apa, Tejo, Vayu, Akash. And what are the gunas? Gunas are the properties of the substances. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Parimana, measures, volume, Prithakvam, differentiation, Samyoga, Vibhago, conjunction and division, Parasta, Aparasta, nextness and previousness, Buddhaya, Sukha, Dukho, Ichha, Dvesho, Prayatnascha, Guna. So these Ichha, Dvesha, Sukha, Dukha are pertaining to Mana and Atma. So all these qualities, gunas, are defined very clearly. Prayatna is also defined as a guna, out of which force comes later. Then what is karma? Utkshepana, vakshepana, kunjanam, prasaranam, gamanam, upward motion, downward motion, contraction, expansion, transmission, broadcasting, etc. And finally, general motion. And gamana visesha, vechana, sparshana, spotana. In Prashastapala Bhashya, he has given expulsion, attraction, touching, and so on, different types of gamana visesha, vechana, sparshana, gamana grahanat, Ramana, Rechana, Syandana, that is viscous flow. Urdhva, Urdhvajvana, Adhapa, Gamana, say Gamana Visesha. All kinds of possible motion specializing. Word karma means darshana, whereas it means something else in different other darshanas. Sadanityam, now he is defining what is called Sat, absolute existence. So here he defines very formally each and everything which we take for granted in our physics understanding. So the fundamentals like what is existence, what is property, what is motion, and what is common to various entities, properties of a quality, properties of motion, all these are described. Out of time constraint, I'm skipping most of this text. And now I'll go to the next chapter, chapter 2. It starts with the causality principle. Karana bhavat karya bhavaha. Without a cause, there cannot be an effect. But natu karya bhavat karana bhavaha. But without an effect, a cause can exist. Like in deep sleep, the self exists without an effect. And generalization, specialization. Samanyam visheshaiti buddhyapeksham. Existence as generalization. So it goes on like this. I will not be able to go deep because of time constraint. And the gunas of the dravyas, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasavati, Prithvi. Prithvi has all the 5 gunas. And in Apa, we reduced Rupa, Rasa, Sparsha, Apa, Savas, Snigdha, both viscous and free flow. Tejo, Rupa Samvit, Teja has only Rupa. Te Akashe Navidyate, Sparshavan Vayuhu. In Akasha, no gunas are there. Sarpijatu Vadhu Chishtanam Agni Samyogat Dravatvam Adbhis Samanyam. So change of state. By applying Agni, there are certain objects like ghee and so on, which will melt and become liquid. So Abdhisam, that is the quality of liquidity. So change of state was unknown. So I have proved that in this book I have given the word-to-word translation of the sutras and also my own commentary separately. As a result, I am able to establish that they were aware of all basic things in physics. And what we think we know a lot in physics is more recent, and in fact it is partial compared to what they have discussed in terms of formalism of definitions of physical entities and phenomena and mechanisms. So I'll skip this chapter also, and I will go to the next chapter where the last chapter I'll go there where the Okay, I'll go to chapter 3, part 2, where he proves the indicative symptoms. I mean, he proves the existence of self and mind based on their indicative symptoms. Feelings that I exist, I am feeling good, I am not feeling good, sukha, dukkha, prayatna, all these are character indications of mind and Atma, self. So a lot of objections on the existence of the self are raised and they have been demolished. And in chapter 4, part 1, atomic theory is proposed. Sadakaranavat nityam sat. The ultimate existence as reality is without any cause and it is eternal, permanent. Tasya karyam lingam, all the effects of that eternal original cause, they are the proof that original cause exists. Then there is discussion of avidya, like you cannot see the atom, so you think atoms don't exist. Atom was defined as the indivisible part of all substances. They have identified the atoms of all the dravyas. Now there is a chapter on force and motion. I will cover that. Atma samyoga prayatnabhyam haste karma. Motion in my hand will come by the conjunction, samyoga of Atma because of prayatna. Atma samyoga prayatnabhyam haste karma. And if there is a stone, like they assume this is a stone, so I am hitting the stone with my hand and stone is pushed forward. So that phenomenon is being described. Tadha hasta samyoga atma samyama atma samyoga prayatnabhyam haste karma hasta samyoga musale karma. Musala means stone, pestle. If I hit it, it's going. Atma samyo tadha hasta samyoga musale karma. Because samyoga means conjunction. Conjunction of hand on the stone will result in motion in the hand. And abhigataje musalado karmani yatreka hasta samyogaha tadha abhigatad musala samyogat haste karma. Because of the abhigata and samyoga with musala, there is also karma in the hand. How does it mean? Reaction. When I hit it, my hand also gets rebounded. So, third law of motion. So, I have interpreted third law of motion from this discourse. And samyoga bhave gurutvat patanam. Any object, if there is no samyoga of any kind, it will fall down by its gravity. Gurutva, the word gurutva is used. And prayatna visheshat, nodana visheshaha, nodana visheshat, udamana visheshaha, nodana bhiyo, nodhanadi visheshabhavat, nodana visheshabhavat, nordhanna tiriyagam. So when it talks of free fall, there cannot be any motion either upward or downward without a special force. Nodana vishesha abhavat, na urdhvam, na tiriyagamanam. And nodana prayatna visheshat, nodana vishesha. Greater effort leads to greater force. And greater force means what? Acceleration. And nodana is force. So force is prayatna visheshat, nodana vishesha. Nodana visheshat, udamana vishesha. Udamana means speed. Udamana vishesha means change in speed, higher speed, incremental improvement in speed. So what is that? Nothing but acceleration. So acceleration is proportional to force. Udamana visheshat, nodana visheshat, udamana vishesha. Greater force means greater acceleration. That means force is proportional to acceleration. That is the first law. So I have shown you Newton's laws of motion. and various types of motions. Tasya dagdhasya vispotanam and Trunau karma, Vayu samyogat, grass blades, vibrations, and crystal motion, Manigamanam, Sucha Visarpanam, magnetic needle motion, Suchis, needle, magnetic needle. It's Adrishta Karanam. Now the Ishav Yogapat Karmanyatve Hetu, the ballistic motion, when an arrow is being thrown out of bow. Nodanadhyabhik karma, tat karma karitacha, samskarad uttaram karma tadhottarancha. So in the beginning, due to the first force being exerted by the string of the bow, there is motion of the arrow. Nodanadhyabhik karma, tat karma karitacha. Having performed that motion, samskara, there is some kind of samskara of motion acquired by the arrow, which we call kinetic energy in English. That samskara uttaram karma, because the kinetic energy, further motion, tadha uttaram cha, further and further, and finally samskara abhave gurutvat patanam. When no more kinetic energy is left, due to gurutva, there will be fall, free fall. So friends, we have seen ballistic motion, force, acceleration, first law, third law. And motion in solids, nodana visesha bhavat, nodana abhighathat samyukta samyogat cha prithiviyam karma. Motion in solids is possible either by application of force, abhighata, impact of force, or samyukta samyogat cha, chemical combination like explosive motion in gunpowder. Without any force also, there will be motion. Liquid state properties, if there is no contact of any liquid with any object, it will fall due to gurutva. Pravatvat syandanam, but liquidity will decide the viscous flow. Syandanam is viscous flow. Evaporation. Nadyo vayu samyogat arohanam. Arohanam is evaporation. Nadyo means with sunlight rays. Vayu samyogat, or through contact with air, which is Bernoulli principle, there will be evaporation, and evaporation leads to cooling. Nodana pedana samyukta samyogacha. So also evaporation also take place by removing the pressure. Apedanat, which means what? Boyle's law. Vriksha visarpanamit adrishtagardam, osmotic flow. Apam sanghato vilayanancha tejas samyogat, condensation and decomposition of water. In the clouds, condensation takes place and decomposition takes place, and due to tatra vispur jatirlingam, due to lightning, electrical discharge acting as a decomposing factor to break the water. Why the kancha? It is there mentioned Veda also. Where is it mentioned in the Veda? Garbho Soshadhinam, Garbho Vanaspatinam, Bhutasya Vishwasya Agne Garbho Apamasi. O Agni, you are in the Garbha of Apa. You are also in the Garbha of the universe. Garbho, you are in the Garbha of plants. The energy principle in general. So friends, we have seen extraordinary brief and deep empirical statements of basic physics. The only advancement beyond basic physics is the atomic theory, which remained same till John Dalton. And after John Dalton, Edwin Rutherford gave the planetary model of the atom in 1956. Till then, the atomic theory of Canada was the only theory which Demetrius repeated in Greece. And the discussion on electricity, magnetism, electrostatic motion, and also he has also mentioned friction elsewhere by saying perpetual motion is not possible. So all the basic laws of physics which govern the mechanical universe are displayed here, and their knowledge, without which there was no possibility of survival of human civilization by construction of palaces, temples, cities, in civil engineering. I'm not claiming anything extraordinary. I'm claiming very basic things here. And there are other texts which go into more advanced. This is basically a non-mathematical treatment of basic physics. The mathematical treatment is available in other texts, Bhaskara, Varahamira, and Aryabhata, and so on, and the planetary motions. The application of basic physics into planetary motions and calculations of very deep, complex involvement to the extent of accurate prediction of eclipses thousands of years back. That single evidence is enough to prove that they are very advanced, whereas in Europe, there is not even decimal number system was existing, only Roman numbers, which can never be used for any scientific and technological activity. That's why Einstein is on record to say that we owe to Indians everything in science and technology because the basic numbers 0 to 9 and the decimal number system of value of 0, adding 10, hundreds, and so on. There is a mantra in the Veda which is talking about Eka, Dashancha, Dasha, Shata, Sahasra, Ita, and so on up to 10 to the power of 40, Lakshana. And even in Jain mathematics, this has been described. So we were very advanced at a time when the rest of the world was in the old Stone Age. They were not able to even have numbers. They were not able to have even clothes. All clothes were made by cotton, exported from India to, even in Bible it is mentioned, even the Roman emperors, they all used Indian clothes. You take any subject, India was the most advanced country in the world. I have enough evidence. Now everybody is discovering that evidence. In the, about 20 years, 30 years back, I was only one person talking about it, but now there are 1,000 people talking about this. And this book you can read, you can free download is also available. Just put my name CSR Prabhu in Google and you'll get various books. And this book free download also somebody created with PDF, you can get. So with this I close the Vaiseshika Darshana. And then I'll switch over to Vedanta Darshana. Those who have any questions on the Vaiseshika Darshana can ask me towards the end of today's session. We'll just take a 5-minute break.
Okay. If you have any questions, make your questions in your notes, and then at the end of the class, you can raise your hand and ask one by one. ఇప్పుడే కాదండి పద్మావతి గారు. When he opens the session, because he's now continuing with the next Darshana. Note down your questions in the book, and you'll get the answers.
Yeah, please put down your hand raise. Don't raise hands now.
Right.
We'll go to remove that. Thank you. So, Mimamsa Darshana was concerned with the Karma Kanda. They believe that through karma only you get Brahma, karma is Brahma. Bandal Mishra was a great Mimamsaka, greatest of the time of Shankaracharya, who was defeated by Adi Shankaracharya to become Sureshwaracharya, the head of Sringeri Mutt, if I'm not mistaken. And he gave up his obsession with karma and Mimamsa and switched over to Jnana, based Vedanta. So, Sarvam Karma Akhilam Partha Jnane Parisamapyate. So, all karma, no doubt it is useful in terms of purification, but it has to be sublimated into Jnana level. So, finally, all karma is meant for Jnana. That is the conclusion which Adi Shankaracharya brought. So, the Vedanta Darshana, I'll now switch over to Vedanta Darshana with only this much brief reference to Mimamsa to say it upholds the karma as a supreme driving force, and dharma is the chodana lakshana dharma. Dharma is the driving force, and Veda prachodita karma is the karma to be adopted. Vedo nityamadhiyatam taduditam karma svanushtiyata. Study Veda daily and implement the karma given in the Veda. What are the karmas given in the Veda? I have discussed this already previously. The Veda contains 11 Havidyagas, starting with Agnihotra, Vaishyadevam, Somayagam, Atiratram, and so on till Chayanam. And so apart from that, we have the Karmakanda given by the Smrutis, Smarta Karmakanda. And we have the Karmakanda given by the Puranas, Pauranika Karmakanda, like Satyanarayana Vratam or Varalakshmi Vratam or Ganapati Vratam, Vinayaka Chauti Vratam. We have done just now. All these are Pauranika Karma. There is no Agnihotra there. It can be performed by Abala Gopalam, by one and all, when everyone performs the Pauranika Karma. Whereas the Smarta Karma and Srauta Karma both have the Agnihotra in it. Some parts of Smarta Karma, like Rudrayagam, Chandiyagam, whereas Srauta Karma is the Vaidika Karma, like Vajapeyam, Ashwamedham, Chayanam, Somayagam, Aptoryamam, and so on. So, the Karma Mimamsa is based on the karmas, benefits, effects. Basically, Srauta Karma is meant for the purification of the society, environment, and Smarta Karma is meant for personal requirements or desires to be fulfilled. And Paurani Karma is also of that type for your own benefit. So it is very important to perform the karmas because nobody can stay without performing karmas. Even for a sannyasi, there are karmas. Of course, sannyasi gives up Agnihotra and therefore all the karma related to Agnihotra. And sannyasa is a turning point in life. It is very difficult to sustain and maintain nowadays. So those who have reached a certain advanced level, they alone are permitted to take sannyasa. And traditionally, only Brahmanas who have gone through the Veda, Jainam, and Karmakanda in a traditional way, they are qualified to take sannyasa. Whereas the Vedanta Jnana, which is given in the Vedanta Darshana, is meant for moksha. Obviously, a sannyasi who has given up everything, who has, in fact, the sannyasa ritual is such that he burns his identity. He is no more a jiva. He is Brahman. He is Ananda Swarupa. That's why the name will be Ananda for all Swanyasas. Atmananda, Chidananda, Mokshananda, Muktananda. So because he is Brahma himself, and that's why such a sannyasi is to be respected, equivalent to God for all others. And now the don't put messages, ask me questions at the end of the session. I'm now talking very serious matters. I cannot be distracted. So concentrate on what I'm talking. At the end, you ask questions. You will keep your questions noted with you. So now we are talking of Vedanta Darshana. The word Vedanta indicates the Anta of the Veda. That is the last part, the Upanishads. That is, first we are talking of Samhita, that is Suktas, Mantras, hymns. Brahmanas, which are the lab manuals for the Yajna performance. Aranyakara also Karma Kanda related. And all the first three are Karma Kanda related, whereas the last one is Jnana Kanda, that is Upanishads. So Vedanta Jnana is provided in the Upanishads. which is summarized in the Brahma Sutras in a very scholastic and very effective, efficient manner, and is also summarized in the Bhagavad Gita in a very simplified manner. So the three, the Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and Bhagavad Gita become the Prasthana Traya. If you understand these three, then you will understand Vedanta Jnana. Upanishads are 108 in nature, in number. It's very vast literature we have covered. And Vedanta Darshana comprises of Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and Bhagavad Gita. In addition, there are many other Prakarana Granthas authored by Adi Shankaracharya, like Vivek Chudamani, Atma Bodha, Jivan Muktananda Lahari, and so on, which are all giving the various methods and procedures of Brahmajnana Atma. So, friends, basically, I'll take you through a journey of the Atma Vivechana. Basically, we have in this world only three things: the Triputi, that is Jiva, that is I, myself. Then we have Prakriti or universe, Jagat. And then we have Ishvara or Brahman or God. Three: Jiva, Prakriti, and Ishvara. So if these three are all combined together into one, then it is Advaita. And if they are combined into two, like Jiva and Prakriti, and for example, in science, there is no Jiva, Prakriti separate, only Prakriti. And all the three separately is Traita Siddhanta. Arya Samajas believe in Traita Siddhanta. And some people interpret everything in terms of these three. Some people interpret everything in terms of two, Jiva and Brahma. And Prakriti is nothing but manifestation of Brahma. And some people interpret as only one. All the three are into one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like this, it will go on to 24 in the Sankhya. 24 entities exist. So in Uddhava Gita, there is a question by Uddhava to Krishna. Which one is the correct one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Krishna answers all are correct because all are conveying the same truth, which is beyond simple intellectual discussion. The ultimate truth is beyond Advaita, Advaita, Visishta Advaita, Traita, Shuddha Advaita, 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 and so on, because it is a direct experience, aparoksha anubhuti. It is not a theoretical thing which can be finally declared as only this and nothing else. So this is the situation in the Vedanta Darshana. There are 25 Siddhantas by 25 different Acharyas. And these Siddhantas are giving different perspectives of the same ultimate reality without bothering about others' perspective. So, in different perspectives, different frameworks are valid. It doesn't mean all others are invalid and only mine is valid. That is fanatic position. And in fact, the first Siddhanta that was brought was Advaita Siddhanta by Shankaracharya, where after which one by one Visishta Advaita, Ramanuja Advaita by Tattva, and Traita of Arya Samaj, and also Shuddha Advaita Vallabhacharya, Advaita Advaita, Achitya Advaita by ISKCON. All these different Siddhantas have come out in time sequence. So the real truth is to be experienced, to be discovered, to be realized in a process of samadhi, where you will be able to experience the ultimate truth, where the mind is stopped and even the intellect is transcended. Yato vacho nivartante prapya manasasa. And Satchidananda is the nature of the self. Now let us go into the very simple but effective analysis on the nature of the self. Who am I? Suppose I ask you a question, who are you? Who am I? What is the answer you will give? You will say, I am so and so. Name. But that is only a name, because on that name, so many people can exist. In this meeting itself, there are people who may have same names. So you cannot be a name. There is only a string of characters. Then if you say, no, I am so-and-so designation, then that designation also is not permanent, because there was a time when you never had any such designation, and now there will be a time when you will not have. Then what is the answer? You say father's name. Father's name also, so many people have same father's name. Address is the location, it's not your identity. Other number is not your identity. There was no other number some time back. So who are you? So finally people say, I don't know who I am. Very good. You know so many things in world. You know about moon and Jupiter and Earth and everything, but you don't know about yours. But definitely you have to accept that I exist. And that is Sat. And you have to accept that you are conscious, you are aware, you have consciousness, Chit. And then Ananda is another characteristic, because you can see even small babies are in Ananda without any physical or mental activity in process. So Ananda you can experience, you are experiencing in deep sleep, in deep meditation. So you are Satchidananda. That is your true nature. Not only your true nature, but also my true nature and his true nature, and your neighbors, your wives, your brothers, your sisters. Everybody, his true nature is Satchidananda. That is the only definition we can conclude, because all other definitions, name, designation, Aadhaar number, PAN number, address, father's name, etc., all will get demolished. They cannot sustain in your declaration of your identity. Passport number. So a lot of people don't even have passport. So you are Satchidananda, but you are X. You don't know who you are, but you are there. You are conscious and you are in happiness, bliss. So there are multiple millions and millions and billions of Satchidanandas, not only humans, but also animals and plants and trees and so on. So these millions and billions of selves are identical in being Satchidananda, but they are appearing to be different from each other, though their characteristics are identical. So you'll give a suspicious situation. What is the connection between them? Suppose I have 10 glasses of water, all are identical. Can I say each glass is totally independent? You say, okay, fine. It is a particular instance of the same water. Now, if you extend the same logic, the water in Hussain Sagar, water in Gangotri, water in your house, all waters are same or different. Contaminations are different, but water is one and same. So also Akasha or ether or space in my house, in your house. Now we are connected in the cyberspace. It's all different or same. It is all different instances, but finally Akasha is one and the same. So you have to accept that though there is multiplicity, there is unity, singleness. So the self also, though there are instances of the same self is only one. Even in the Vaishka Sutras, he has said that Vyavasthitona, in practice, there are multiple instances of self. But in 7th chapter, he proves that the self is only one, though there are multiple instances. So the Satchidananda Parambrahman, Paramatma is only one. So the Jivatmas are many. Antaratmas, Jnanatma. So the Atma is only one. Ahamatma Gudakesha. Sarvabhuta Vyavasthitaha. Ahavadincha Madhyamcha. Bhutanam Antaye. So I am the self of all, he told. So that self, it is not an object. It is not something which can be perceived by senses or by mind as an external object. It is yourself, which is a subject, not the object. So the subject, which is I, of everyone, everything. So that is the self or soul or Atma, all one and the same. So I just explained to you within 10 minutes or 5 minutes a very, very most profound, ultimate truth. So the same self exists in everyone. Chimalo, Brahmalo, Shiva, Keshavadulalo. So, in fact, there is a story I came to know recently that Sanat Kumara was so great yogi. He was always in samadhi. So one day Shiva and Parvati came to him. He didn't bother much. He saw them and said, all right. Because he realized the self of Shiva and the self of himself are one and the same. So Shiva asked him, what do you want? I said, I don't want anything. Then Shiva says, I want something. What is that you want? I want you to be born as my son. So finally, he said in that text that he is born as Subramanian. So the oneself. Similarly, when Adi Shankaracharya reached the cave in Narmada river bank, Omkareshwar, so his guru Govinda asked, who are you? And Adi Shankara, as a boy of 8 years, answered, I am Brahman, and you are also Brahman. And everyone is Brahman, everything is. I know that, and you also know that. That is the answer he gave. So, because he gave that answer, which is the ultimate truth, he was taken in and he became Jagat Guru of the whole world after 24 years. And he wrote about 350 books. He wrote the commentaries to Dasopanishad, he wrote commentaries to Brahma Sutra, he wrote commentary to Bhagavad Gita, he wrote commentary to Vishnu Sahasranama, he wrote, and so on. So, friends, this is the Atma Vivechana. I gave you the idea of Ayam Atma Brahma in Mandukya Upanishad. This self is Brahman. That is also declared. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma is the first Mahavakya. Everything is Brahman. And Prajnanam Brahma, Ayamatma Brahma, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. These are the various Mahavakyas. So the summary of the Mahavakyas is Vedanta Jnana. In fact, there is a big, beautiful story in Vedanta Sadhana. One king went to a forest with his son, young boy, and also his army, where they performed hunting. And after a long time, they finished hunting and came back. But they found the small boy is missing. So they tried a lot, they searched a lot, but the boy was lost in the forest. So they finally gave up, reconciled, and came back home to their capital city, Oregon. And after about 30 years, somebody found accidentally one man in forest, grown up adult, who had some birthmarks, same as the lost son of the king. So the king went and brought that man back and told him, see, you are my son. You are the prince. You are going to be the king now because I am too old. You are the king now. You take over. That man says, no. How can I be the king? I am a tribal. I am in the forest. However much people try to convince him that he is the king. Of course, they have also confirmed by DNA test and everything. Finally, he is the same person. But still, he is not accepted. So the question that arises is, when will he become the king? He is already the king. If he accepts, if he realizes that he is the king, then he is already there. So it's same in case of Jiva. Jiva is already Shiva. He is already Brahman. But he doesn't want to accept. He says, I am so and so. I am having this problem. I am having that problem. I will be dying. I was born, and so on. So, by your own volition, by your own making, you want to remain in Bandha, and as a Jiva, you want to suffer. If you so decide that you should assert your identity, which is you are Shiva, Shivoham, Jivonaham Deshivokva, Shivo, Naham Deho Nendriyanyam Tarangam, Nahankar Pranavargona Buddhi, Dharapatyakshetravitta Durasakshi. Nitya Pratyagatma Rajvajnanad Bhavati Rajuryadhahi Swatma Jnanad Atmano Jiva Bhava. Similar to a snake being superimposed on a rope. In the darkness, when somebody saw a rope, he thought it was a snake. So he called everybody. Everybody thought it was a snake. They came with sticks and started beating. Until somebody came with a light and showed it is not a snake, but it is. Rajju ajnanad bhati rajju yadhahi swatma jnanad atmano jiva bhava aptoktva hi bhrantino sena rajju jivo naham deshikoktva shiva. I am not Jiva, but I am Shiva. So this realization, this assertion, keep on doing this. Negate your individuality and separate identity from Brahman, from Bhagavan, God, Ishvara. You are one and the same. I am you, he told so many times. Ahamatma Vadakesh, Sarva Bhuta Vyavasthita, Ahamadincha Madhyancha, Bhuta. So I am he, Soham. I am you, he said. Soham means I am he. So Deho Devaraya Prokto Jivo Deva Sanatana Tyajed Ajnana Nirmalyam Soham Bhave. So remove your ignorance and do the assertion of Soham. Om Soham. That is meditation. Om is Brahman. Om Ityegaksham Brahma. Soham, Soham, Soham. I am that, I am he, I am. The more you do this meditation, the more you will be liberated. And the more you assert your identity with Shiva or Brahman, you become that, you are already that. And the more you assert your identity with the Jiva, you will be in suffering, in moksha. So in Vedanta Darshana, moksha is already there because for Shiva there is no moksha. For Paramatma, for Brahman there is no moksha. What is moksha? Moksha is nothing but liberation. Liberation from what? From dukkha. How is dukkha coming? Dukkha is coming due to false identity with jivatva. Naham deho, I am not the body. False identity with body leads to certain problems. A false identity with mind leads to certain. Dehanyatvad name janma jara karshalaya deha. Since I am not the body, I don't have birth, I don't have death, I don't have old age, I don't have anything, it changes. Since I am not the mind, I don't have so and so qualities. Since I am not this, I don't have these things. So naham deho nendriyanyantarangam nahankara pranavargo na buddhi. Dharapatyakshetra vittadi dura sakshi nitya pratyagatma shivoham. Rajvajnanad bhati rajuryadhahi swatma jnanad atmano jiva bhava aptoktva hi bhrantino sena rajju. Jivo naham deshukokva shivo. Chidananda rupa shivoham shivo. Chidananda rupa shivoham shivo. Name dvesha rago, name lobha moho. Madho naiva me naiva matsarya bhava. Na dharmo, na chardho, na kamo, na moksha. Chidananda rupa shivoham shivo. Na mruchur, na shanka, na me jati bheda. Pita naiva me naiva mata na janma. Na bandhur na mitran guru naiva sishya. Chidananda rupa shivoham shivo. Chidananda rupa shivoham shivo. Chidananda rupa shivoham shivo. I finished my lecture today. You can now ask very intelligent questions. Don't ask stupid questions or silly questions, please.
Now the floor is open. Raise your hand. Don't barge in with your questions. Raise your hand and we'll take up. Okay. Amar Singh ji, boli.
प्रणाम गुरु जी। गुरु जी, भगवद गीता में भगवान ने कहा सर्वस्य चाहम हृदय सन्निविष्टो, अर्थात मैं सभी के मन में समाया हुआ हूँ। ठीक। हमारे वेद, ऊपर से हमारे वेद यहाँ से हमको ये बोलते हैं कि हमारे जितने भी 35 करोड़ देवी देवताएं हैं, हम उनको मतलब ये पूजा पाठ जो हम कर रहे हैं, तो फिर इसका इसका अर्थ क्या होगा? फिर अभी हमने कहा कि मनोबुद्धि ओंकार
ठीक है,
कीर्तन
ठीक है,
ज्ञान।
ठीक है, मैं बताऊंगा। ठीक है, अब सुनिए। तो ये सारी देवी देवता हैं, एक ही परमात्मा के रूप है। गणेश हो, जैसा कि आप गणेश अधर्व शीर्ष बोल के है, उसमें गणेश परम ब्रह्म के रूप में बतलाया गया, ओंकार के रूप में। या दुर्गा हो, अभी दशहरा की दुर्गा का पूजा होगा, वो प्रकृति है। प्रकृति तो प्रकृति पुरुष का एक एक एकात्म तत्व सांख्य दर्शन में है। माया भी बोलते हैं, माया और ब्रह्म। माया तो दिखने वाला माया है, असल में ब्रह्म है। शक्ति शिव, शिव असल है, शक्ति दिखता है। तो इस तरह हर एक देवता जो है पर ब्रह्म का ही एक अंश है, या एक रूप है, एक खिड़की है। क्योंकि परब्रह्म तो अनंत है। सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम ब्रह्मा। सो अनंत होने का जो ब्रह्म की लक्षण है, हम एक रूप में, राम के रूप में, शक्ति के रूप में, या विष्णु के रूप में, या गणेश के रूप में हम अपने लिए हमने चुन लिया है। तो आदि शंकराचार्य ने सारी देवी देवताओं को 6 देवता रूप में बंद किया है। जैसा शिव एक है, शिव के अनेक रूप है। और विष्णु है, विष्णु के अनेक रूप है, अनेक अवतार है। और शक्ति, शक्ति के अनेक रूप है। इच्छा शक्ति लक्ष्मी है, ज्ञान शक्ति सरस्वती है, क्रिया शक्ति दुर्गा है। इस तरह के अनेक शक्ति रूप है। और गणपति, और कार्तिकेय सुब्रमण्य, और सूर्य, सूर्य के नवग्रह भी है। ये सारों को देवता रूप में उन्होंने स्वीकार किया है। ये सारे 6 हो गए समरी में। तो षण्मत हो गए, षण्मत स्थापनाचार्य, ऐसा उनको नाम दिया गया है। ये काम उन्होंने कांची में किया है, सारे 4 मठों को स्थापना करने के बाद, अद्वैत सिद्धांत को स्थापना करने के बाद। ये 6 देवता उपासना और उनके उपदेवता उपासना और उनके उपदेवता उपासना सब एक ही बात ओंकार परब्रह्म में लय हो जाता है। सारे ये है देवी देवताएं और उपदेवताएं, उपदेव देवताएं, उप 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 ग्राम देवताएं, सब कुछ ब्रह्म पर ब्रह्म का ही अनेक अनेक खिड़कियां हैं, और अनेक अनेक अंश है, और अनेक अनेक रूप है। जिसको ये ज्ञान होगा वो समझ जाएगा कि आखिरी में एक है। इसी बात को भगवत गीता में उन्होंने बार बार दोहराया है। ठीक है, अगला नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन।
ఓకే. పద్మావతి గారు.
నమస్కారం అండి.
చెప్పండి.
ధర్మం 2 లక్షణాల్లో ప్రవృత్తి నివృత్తి లక్షణాల తర్వాత 10 దశకాలు చెప్పానండి మీరు ధర్మ లక్షణాల్లో. అది ఒకసారి రాయలేకపోయాను, ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ చెప్పరండి.
ధర్మ లక్షణంలో 10 ధృతి క్షమాది శ్లోకం చాలా ఫేమస్ శ్లోకం మనుస్మృతిలోది. ధృతి క్షమ దమ శౌచం అస్తేయో ఇంద్రియ నిగ్రహ ధీ విద్య సత్యం అక్రోధో దశకం ధర్మ లక్షణం. ఇవి ధర్మ అంశ లక్షణాలు. అద్దాక చెప్పింది ప్రవృత్తి లక్షణ ధర్మం, నివృత్తి లక్షణ ధర్మం అనేది మోడ్ ఆఫ్ ఆపరేషన్. రెండు ఒకటి కాదు. ప్రవృత్తిలో ఉండేవాడు, నివృత్తిలో ఉండేవాడు అంటే సాధువులు, సన్యాసులు, యోగులు, అడవికి వెళ్ళిపోయిన వాళ్ళు, సన్యాసం పుచ్చుకున్న వాళ్ళు, వాట్ ఎవర్ ధర్మ దే ఫాలో, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ నివృత్తి లక్షణ ధర్మ. ప్రవృత్తి లక్షణ ధర్మ ఈజ్ టు బి ఫాలోడ్ బై ఆల్ అదర్స్ who are grihasthas in the outside world in various professions. Okay, next.
ఇంకొక క్వశ్చన్ లో మీరు ఆత్మల రకాలు చెప్పారండి.
ఒకటే ఆత్మ, ఒకటే ఆత్మ అనేక పాత్రల్లో ఉంది. అంతరాత్మ, conscience. Oneself, which is conscience, observing within yourself, is Antaratma, Jivatma, life. Mamayvamsho Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatanaha. Life based Atma is Jivatma. Knowledge based Atma is Janatma. All together is Paramatma. Atma is only one. And that is Brahman. Next.
Okay.
ధన్యవాదాలండి.
Okay. Any other question? One question was there. What is the book name which you have referred? I think it is Physics of Vaisheshika.
Yeah. How many times I told this? You're asking again and again.
Yeah.
I told last time, I told you, I showed it. I showed today also, I told the physics of Vaisheshika. You can put in the chat bot.
I'll put it. I'll put it in the chat box. Amar Singh ji, 1 minute आप रुकिए. Savita Shastri ji. Savita Shastri garu, you can go ahead. Go ahead, Savita Shastri garu. Make your question very crisp. Unmute yourself first. Unmute yourself, Savita Shastri garu. If you are unable to unmute, then we'll go to Amar Singh ji. Amar Singh ji, आपका प्रश्न पूछ लीजिए.
तो गुरु जी, जैसा हमको ये बताया जाता है कि हमारी कुल देवी और कुल देवता रहते हैं, उनकी पूजा करो. फिर हम यहाँ से इधर से हमको ये बोलते हैं कि भगवान एक ही थे. बोलो, आपने जैसा कहा था, मनोबुद्धि कर चित्तनी नहा नशा क्षेत्र जीवे नशा लेते नशा वे भूमि न तेजो न वायु चिदानंद रूपा शिवोम शिवोम. मतलब एक ही शिवोम है, एक ही परमात्मा है. तो इसके बारे में बोलिए.
तो प्रश्न क्या है?
हाँ हाँ. आप
एक परमात्मा अनेक रूपों में दिख रहा है. अहम आत्मा गुणाकेश सर्वभूत व्यवस्था अहम आदिंच मध्यंच भूतानाम अंतय. जो परमात्मा मेरे में आत्मा के रूप में है, वही परमात्मा आप में भी आत्मा के रूप में है. कुत्ते में भी है, चींटी में भी है. विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे गवि हस्तिनी शुनिचैव स्वपहचे च पंडिता समदर्शिनः. ये समदर्शी स्थिति है. वहां तक पहुंचने का बहुत मुश्किल है. आप माया के वश में हो. माया के वश में जो ईश्वर है वो जीव बन जाता है. असल में जीव है ही नहीं. माया के वश में जीव होता है. माया के वश में प्रकृति दिख रही है, सारा जगत दिख रहा है. So everybody, everything is nothing but the self or Brahman. But due to Maya, the whole universe, within Maya, everything exists. माया के अंदर सब कुछ है.
okay.
माया के बाहर ईश्वर है. मैं और ईश्वर में एक ही फर्क है. मैं जीव समझ रहा हूँ, वो ईश्वर है. दोनों में पदार्थ एक है, ब्रह्म है. जैसा कि एक समुद्र में बड़े बड़े लहर होते हैं, छोटे छोटे होते हैं. पानी तो एक ही है, लेकिन बड़ा अलग है, छोटा अलग है, बुद्ध अलग है. तो इस तरह सृष्टि जो दिख रही है अलग अलग, एक ही करंट जो है छोटे बल में होगा, बड़े बल में होगा, तो अलग अलग शक्तियां दिख रही है. अनेक प्रकार शक्तियां, अनेक प्रकार देवताओं का शक्ति सब दिख रही है. ठीक है.
Okay. Any other question? I mean, Savita Shastri ji garu, I have asked you to unmute. If you are not able to do it, then I don't know how to handle that.
Put it in chat box.
Yeah, you can put your question in the chat box.
Everybody feels I am Paramatma, God, who am I? Won't be.
That
Read
is,
that again now.
Amar Singh ji. Then now the question is, God for who won't be egoistic, they will stop seeking the
No, it's not clear. Gautam Mukherjee, yes.
Yeah, Gautamji. Gautamji, you go ahead.
Guruji, namaskar. Sir, actually, you discussed all the three laws of Newton, actually. So once you told that without any cause, the things cannot be moved, that is the first law. Then you told that the force and acceleration is proportionate, that is second law. And you told also that with the book, you told that the reaction and my hand is also getting reflected, that is third law. So all the three laws are there.
Correct. You're right.
Thank you.
Okay, any other question? Anyone? Savita Shastriji, you can try again to unmute and ask because your question in the chat box is not clear. She says, who am I won't be egoistic. They will stop seeking further. So which dharma is better for practicing? That is the question. I mean, it's not clear.
Not clear.
Yeah. Which dharma is better? That's what is the ultimate question.
No, everybody has their own dharma already. Right now, my dharma is to answer your queries. Okay. And Chittibabu's dharma is to coordinate and monitor. So you, after half an hour, your dharma will be to drive your car or scooter. So you assume different roles at different times. So your dharma will be defined instantly in that role. So there is that question has no meaning. But actually, ultimate truth is you are not any one of this. Just like when you are driving the car, the policeman will think you are the driver. If he arrests you, he will arrest you as a driver, not as the participant of Sanatana Dharma certification course. So different roles. A role with father, role with mother, role with job, different roles you are playing. Same person is playing different roles. So dharma is as per the role-based dharma.
Okay.
No question of better or worse. It is compulsory. And that compulsory or out of fear, everything works. Even the earth is moving out of compulsion of the law of gravitation. Out of compulsion, offices are open. Out of compulsion, Narendra Modi goes on, giving speeches for election. Everything is on compulsion. So the compulsion is force. The dharma will be instantly defined. So you discharge your dharma correct. That's all.
Okay, Srinivas Garu, unmute yourself and talk.
సార్ నమస్కారం అండి
Hello,
సార్
sir.
నారదుడు అంతటి వాడే ఈ మాయలోంచి
Can you
బయటపడలేక
put your
పరమేశ్వరుడి
question
యొక్క
in?
మాయలోంచి
Please put your question in English for the benefit of all girls. Otherwise,
హౌ టు కమ్ అవుట్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ మాయ సార్
Yeah, good question. All Shastras, all Darshanas, all Upasanas are all aimed at the same task, how to come out of Maya. So, normally it is not possible. Let me be very frank. Nobody can come out of the Maya. It is impossible. But even then, if you are in Jnana, then you are liberated. Otherwise, you will be suffering. So, Jnana Mukti. That's the only way. And that Jnana is not just bookish or theoretical or academic. That is also Jnana, but it is not adequate. It has to be self-realization. So, just now, there is a post in the chat board, by yoga sadhana, you come out of Maya. Yes, I told you all darshanas, yoga darshana, jnana darshana, sankhya darshana, all darshanas are aimed at coming out of Maya to reach moksha.
సో అభ్యాస వైరాగ్యాస్ ఓన్లీ వీ హావ్ టు డు
Yes, abhyasa vairagya, that is the yoga marga. In Vedanta marga, vairagya, viveka and vairagya. So,
Vivekananda,
and
right?
tapasya. And then prerequisites are there. So, prerequisites are very difficult, not easy. Sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. What are sadhana chatushtayas? Shamadama, that is the first. Shamadama, shatka sampatti, first one. Shamadama, Datiksha, Uparati, so on. And then, what are the other three? Iha, Mutra, Phala, Bhoga, Virakti. That is total Vairagya. And then what else? Nitya, Nitya, Vastu, Vivekam. To realize what is real and what is unreal. And finally, Mumukshatva. First, you should have strong desire to get liberated. How many people have that? Nobody has. Let me be very frank. Nobody wants liberation. Nobody wants. People go to Tirupati to fulfill desires. People worship gods for fulfilling their desires. People do all kinds of crazy things. They do dancing after drinking in the front of Ganesh Pratima. They do all kinds of things for their own satisfaction and enjoyment. Nobody is interested in moksha. Let me be very frank.
So
So,
we have to practice detachable attachments or something.
no, that's what I'm saying. No. The whole subject is that you have heard Yoga Sutras, you have heard, all are aimed at how to reach moksha. That is, moksha means moksha from Maya, moksha from Janma. So we are in Maya only. The moment you realize you are Atman, you are Brahman, then you are liberated at that spot. At that very second, you see my video on Ashtavakra Samhita in YouTube.
Okay.
There, this discussion is how to get liberated.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. ధన్యవాదాలు.
Sharda garu.
ఒకటి సెల్ఫ్ అనాలిసిస్ ఇస్ ద ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్ ఫర్ ఆత్మ వివేచన. Then how to get actually bandha vimochanam, even if you want mentally that you want to get out of these worldly attachments and duties, how to get out completely.
Yeah, this same Jnana Marga, say there are Jnana Marga, Yoga Marga, Bhakti Marga, Karma Marga, so many Margas are there. So this is Jnana Marga. Yeah, it starts with Vivechana, Atma Vivechana. For the moment you accept or you realize that you are the pure self, Satchidananda, then all attachments are gone. To whom the attachments are there?
Okay.
So to realize that and to be established in it. But at the same time, it doesn't mean you go to forest and cut off all your attachments. It's not easy. First of all, going to forest is not easy. You can only go to a garden. You cannot go to forest. If at all you go to forest, you will be killed immediately by the tigers and lions and other things. If at all you go to such a place. So nobody will go nowadays. Previously, some people went. Now nobody will go now. They will only go to maximum garden, upavana, not to vana. So now, even inside your house, whatever life you are living, you have to get the same state. So that is, detachment is possible through jnana, atma jnana, atma vivechana. And again, it is not easy to get because you need this samadama, shatka sampatti, nitya, nitya vastu vivekam, and that is, the four iha, mutra, phala, bhoga, virakti, mumukshutva. So sadhana chatushtaya sampatti is the minimum requirement for Vedanta jnana. There's a book called Upadesha Sahasri. You read that book, that is by Adi Shankaracharya. He has 1,000 teachings there. So there he says who should be given the Vedanta jnana, Brahma jnana. There he defines the person's characteristics. Tyakta, Vitta, Putra, Shastrashanasya. A person who has given up all attachments to money and its products and to son or children and family and all, and to even the Shastra, particular affiliation to particular Siddhanta. I am Advaiti, I am Dvaiti, I will fight like that kind of thing. So, Tyakta, Vitta, Putra, Shastra, Ishanasya. Ishana is attachment, obsession.
No.
Paramahamsa Parivrajikasya, that he should have been a sannyasi. He was given up everything. Sannyasi means he was given up everything. He has nothing, no possessions, not even one paisa, not even clothes will be possessed by him. Nothing is possessed. To such a Paramahamsa, that is able to distinguish between truth and untruth, between God and non-God, that is called Paramahamsa. Parivrajaka is always moving, is a sannyasi. To such a person, Vedanta Jnana is given, and by 4 Mahavakyas, and he will reach the Brahmi Sthiti instantly. So it depends on the person. Where, like, Ravana Maharshi got very fast. And in Vamanavataram, the small Vamana, yesterday was Vamana Jayanti. Vamana says, when the Bali asked, where do you live? He said, I live everywhere. What do you know? I know everything. So to reach that stage, Avadhuta Gita, if you see the Avadhuta Gita videos of mine in YouTube, you'll find how Avadhuta is reached, the self-realized soul, how he behaves, how he talks, Sthita Prajna, all are same. Okay, right. Next.
One more question, sir. On what basis all this Saura Mandalam, all the grahas are moving without disturbing from their own orbit? Is it because of Bhaya only?
No, Maya is the word used for the totality. Within Maya, the laws of gravitation, Graha Gati, Jyotish Shastra, there is a Graha Ganita. So they can predict everything. That's why they're able to predict eclipses 1 year in advance. So they know everything in the Jyotish Shastra. They follow the laws of gravitation and planetary motions. All this put together is Prakriti, which is Maya. Prakriti is nature. And laws of nature is science. And Daivi Hyesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Durachaya. My Maya, which is divine Prakriti, is made of 3 gunas. He has given in the Gita. Bhagavad Gita has given entire jnana. We will cover Bhagavad Gita next.
One simple doubt, sir. Yeah, are the planets moving in their orbits because of Gurutvakarshana Shakti only?
And the forces of other grahas, Surya is exerting force. See, why we know science, right? You have studied all these things. So these things were already known to our Shastras, our Vedas, our Pandits, long back. In fact, what is being shown today as science has originated from our Shastras.
Now we'll go for Pradhana. Prabhu, there are few questions we'll take. Can we take up after the Pradhana?
No, because some people wanted to record the questions also. Just finish them fast. Another 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
If I understood correctly, we must go do our given dharma properly. Then the other 3 follows the suit: dharma, artha, kama, moksha.
Yes, correct.
Right.
Next.
There are no other questions. I mean,
okay, let us close. Yeah.
So now I request Bhaskar Rao Garu to do the Swastik Pradhana, please.
Okay. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishaha Go Brahmanebhyah Subhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sugno Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prudhvi Sasyashalini Deshoyam Kshobarahito Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Aputra Putrana Santu Putrina Santu Potrinaha Adhana sadhana santu jivantu saradam satam satyam vada dharmanchara swadhyayan mam pramadaha sarve bhavantu sukhinaha sarve santu niramayaha sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkhabhat bhavet Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamadam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Swasti.
ధన్యవాదాలు బ్రహ్మభాస్కర్ రావు గారు.
ధన్యవాదాలు.
Let us all stand up for the national anthem, please. जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे, गाहे तब जय गाथा, जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे. जय हिंद जय हिंद जय हिंद.